Every Toyota car you see on the road is made in a plant just like this, with so many people working together, all with care and craftsmanship. We call this monozukuri, and it's in the 30,000 parts that make up a vehicle. Through the casting process, we can create products with complex shapes by pouring molten iron or aluminum into a mold. This process applies molten metal at 1,500 degrees Celsius or 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit to the casting line, using a container called a casting ladle. To learn the fundamentals of casting, it requires not only understanding the characteristics of metals and molds, but also hands-on learning experience on the manufacturing floor. They are learning how to make products by hand. Molten aluminum is being poured into a sand mold. Just by looking, it is immediately apparent whether it was a success or a failure.
狙った形ができなかった時に、ここで学んだ知識っていうのがやっとその場で生かされると。これが確実に経験を積むことでいいものづくりにつながっていく。だからここで、たくさんの経験をしてここで得た知識をラインで生かしていいものを作り出す。
This is a sand mold of a camshaft, and here you can see the metal mold to make that sand mold.
鋳造って先ほども同じ人が同じ場所で同じ砂を使って作るんだけど全くもって同じものを作れない。これを同じものを作らなければ量産ラインって実現しないんですね。こうみんなで、何が標準なんだろうっていうのを話し合いながら、それがやっと自動化につながっていく。そして、ほぼほぼ同じものが次から次にできていく。こういったところがやっぱり鋳造の面白さじゃないのかなというふうに思います。
It is very difficult to turn molten metal that has no shape into a precision part, and to replicate it in mass production with consistent quality. Through trial and error, we build the craftsmanship necessary to achieve mass production. Forging is a process where iron is heated to a high temperature and then struck with a hammer or a die. This process strengthens metal to make car parts that require a particular strength. Here we are making a crankshaft, a component of the engine that rotates at a high speed. In order to pass down forging skills, some processes are intentionally done by hand. With the manual machine, workers learn the knowledge necessary for forging and hone their skills through repeated failures. Through this learning process, workers acquire various techniques and experience, ranging from how to apply lubricant, to how to hold tongs, turn and place materials, and make adjustments for varying temperature and humidity.
"数値的になかなか表せないんで、実際やってるのを見てもらってやらせてみてを繰り返し、最初はできない製品の型打ちも、だんだんできるようになってきて、最終的にできるようになった時は達成感はあります。
This type of hammer forging machine goes back to the origins of the forging process. Even today, this type of hammer forging is still used to develop skills.
最初はもう全然わからないんで、最初見てみて教えてもらってやってみてを繰り返して成長していきます。
These skills form the basis of what the machines do. That is why it is so important to train people and continuously improve their skills. It helps us build ever better products. Underlying the machines and technology used in mass production is the wisdom and craftsmanship of human beings. Car manufacturing begins with the creation of doors, hoods, and other body parts from large steel plates. One car can use more than a dozen types of steel plates. Steel plates are fed into the cutting machine and punched into different shapes and sizes. Punched steel plates are pressed into the shape of parts. And it only takes 3 seconds, applying 1,600 tons of pressure to make the part. To achieve beautiful designs, stamping die must be made with precision. The die material is first surface processed by machine. It is then mounted on a stamping machine for a trial run.
"パネルの一部にシワや歪みが出たり、割れてしまったり、様々な問題が出るため、巨大な金型に調整を加えていきます。
Even if it appears to be finished, a trained person can detect by touching it with their fingertips or by applying a special solvent and looking at the light reflection, very slight distortions in the order of 1/1000th of a millimeter.
この砥石を10回かけると1000分の3ミリほど表面を削ることができます。試し打ちと補正を何度も繰り返し、ようやく生産ラインで使えるようになります。金型の世界でもデジタル化は進んでいますが、繊細な補正は人の感覚と技能でしかできません。
When building a car with such a sharp design, the conventional method, stamping only in the vertical direction, would cause the steel sheets to stretch too much and crack. So we created a new stamping method by introducing a mechanism called a cam. The cam changes the processing direction and is within the stamping die. After the vertical processing is completed, the cam moves diagonally to complete the form. In this way, steel plates can be processed without forcibly stretching and without cracking.
何としてもこのデザインのままで世に送り出したいという強い思いから新工法にチャレンジし、試行錯誤の末実現することができました。ただしこの技術を量産につなげるには従来以上に型のメンテナンスが鍵となります。そこで金型作りのメンバーや工場で働くメンバーにも開発の初期からプロジェクトに加わってもらいました。キックオフとなったデザイン確認会では総勢100人以上に参加してもらい、デザイナーの意図やそこにかける熱い思いを共有しました。それは開発から生産に関わるメンバー全員が新しいデザイン実現のために一枚岩となった瞬間でした。
From stamping, the shaped parts are then put together in welding. It is here where the beautiful shape of the car comes together. First, the floor, sides, and ceiling are assembled, and as many as 4,000 places are welded. welding is performed with high precision because it greatly affects the car's stability. The doors, hood, and trunk door, among additional parts, are attached to the assembled body. Then, with a human touch and visual check, an inspector confirms quality. With laser welding, each location can be welded in as fast as half a second. With higher welding speeds, we can weld in more places, further strengthening the car body and improving the car's dynamic performance and stability.
トヨタでは、レーザーを回転させながら当てることで、溶けた鉄をかき回し、溶接を行う、レーザースクリューウェルディングという工法を2013年に取り入れました。
To make even better vehicles, we are looking into ways to further utilize this welding process.
より遠くからレーザーを当てることができれば、ロボットのわずかな動きだけで広い範囲を短い時間で溶接することができますが、一方でより高い精度が求められます。そこで、障害となる溶接機の保護ガラスの汚れ具合により、レーザーの強さを制御する技術を開発し、この課題を解決しました。我々はこれからの車作りに大きな可能性を秘めたレーザー溶接の開発をさらに進めていきます。
The paint process starts with a wash. It's an important step for the preceding layers of paint. The first step is the primer process. The body is dipped into a pool of rust-resistant paint. Then, sealer is applied to steel plate joints. Next, the car body is prepared for the middle coat. While it's not seen, it's the care taken for this middle coat that helps achieve a beautiful color. The next step is the top coating process. Each car is painted one by one with its designated color. And finally, a clear coat is sprayed to add luster. After the car body dries, inspectors rigorously check the painted surface.
私たちは鋼板の合わせ目にシーラーというものを塗って仕上げる仕事をしています。これは車の水漏れや錆を防いだり、防音の効果を高めたりするとても重要な仕事で、一台一台丁寧に仕上げています。大きな面を均一に塗るのは主にロボットですが、やはり細かいところや重要な部位には私たち人間の技能と出来栄えを見極める感性が必要とされています。
The conventional method to apply paint is through aerodynamic force, which turns the paint into fine particles to be sprayed onto the car body. However, the momentum from the air causes some paint particles to ricochet off the car, resulting in a coating efficiency of approximately 70%. By comparison, the new airless coating system achieves a world-leading paint adhesion rate of 95% or higher by adhering the paint electrostatically. In conventional paint booths, air is blown from the ceiling to the floor at a constant temperature and humidity, directing ricocheted paint to the floor where it is collected in water. Airless coating, on the other hand, causes less paint to ricochet and can instead be collected in cardboard boxes. No pumps are needed and fans are smaller, leading to a reduction in CO2 emissions. This is an example of how we are continuing to improve our technology to reduce environmental impact. This line processes forged and cast products into precision engine parts. We make ultra-precise parts down to a 1/1000th millimeter threshold, utilizing multiple processes. These include rough machining, heat treatment, semi-finishing, and finishing. The precision processes used to build engines help them run smoothly, with high power output, low fuel consumption, and increased durability.
お客様に満足していただけるように、 すべての、いいものだけを作っていくということを目指して、我々の方、日夜生産の方を取り組んでおります。
We work to ensure that no defective products are passed on to the next process in line. However, rather than identifying an issue after it occurs, our aim is to not make any defective products in the first place.
これまでは専門のメーカーでありますとか、専門部署にお願いしていた、点検作業、そういったことを、我々が技能を習得することによって自らの手で日々点検管理の方を行っております。
If we create facilities that produce only high-quality products and control the production environment at all times, defective products will not be produced.
私たち今物を作るための道具、そういったものをしっかり管理することによっていいものしかできない、そういったライン作りを行っております。ここの場所で、ライン全体の方を管理し、常に異常がないかっていうものを見ております。で、異常になる前に、速やかに手を打って常に設備、そういったものがですね、良い状態というものを維持するということを今やっております。その結果、不良品を作らない、また後ろにも流さない、そういったラインになっている。そういうふうに感じています。
This is a production line where engines are assembled by hand, not mass-produced by machines. People perform actions the simplest way possible, without unnecessary movement. In the production process, we first consider how to make simple manual operations easier while maintaining the highest accuracy.
人の動きって一番シンプルなんですよね。このシンプルな動きをジグとかちょっとした機械で表せたり、動きに変えたりできたりすれば一番効率のいい動きになるんです。それをこのラインを使って具現化していこうと。
The equipment used in this process is relatively small, inexpensive, and difficult to break. We are constantly seeking ways to make such improvements and introduce them on the production line as soon as possible.
手組みが主なんです。手で組んでいくことが。ということは目の前に物がよく見れて、それからジグもよく見れて、機械もよく見れて、で原理原則を学んでいくには一番いいラインなんです。
Also, we are committed to creating an ever more inclusive working environment, building on our long-standing diversity and inclusion efforts. Here, we are creating new processes to assist people in wheelchairs and people with intellectual disabilities to work on the manufacturing line. We apply this same thinking to make difficult tasks a little more easier and inclusive.
同じことの繰り返しではなくて、また新しいことを挑戦していきたいなと。見ていただいた車椅子の工程もさらに良くしていって、一人だけではなくとか、もっと大勢働いていただけるように、また改善もしていきたいなと思っております。人を育てながらいけるラインにしていきたいなというふうに思っております。
The parts installed here are made with the cooperation of more than 100 part suppliers in addition to Toyota's own plants. As many as 3,000 parts are installed in a line more than half a mile long. The doors are temporarily removed to create space to work. Interior components such as electrical wiring and the ceiling liner, followed by the engine, brakes, and other undercarriage components are installed. Then bumpers, tires, seats, windshield, and rear glass are installed. Finally, the doors are reattached. A cart equipped with screws and tools moves along the assembly line with vehicles to assist line workers within each section. This eliminates the need to go back and forth to the nearby shelves to replenish screws and parts, reducing non-value-added movement. To help assemble taller vehicles like an SUV, employees invented carts with a built-in step stool and chair. During the assembly process, parts are installed based on the production instruction sheet attached to the vehicle. When the sheet is not visible in certain work areas, a tablet device is used to confirm the steps and parts needed for installation, preventing any errors. In the past, LED lighting was installed on the floor to assist the assembling process underneath the vehicle. However, this left after images in the worker's eyes, making it difficult to continuously perform the assembly work. Once the floor was painted in yellow, however, overhead light reflected off the painted area and illuminated underneath the car. This removed the need for LED lighting on the floor. Yellow flooring has now expanded to other areas in the plant to improve visibility and the working environment.
品質の高い車をより早くお客様にお届けするために、働く人一人一人が知恵を出し合うことを大切にしています。創意工夫という改善提案制度は、今の仕事のやり方を 100% と考えるのではなく、もっと良くするためにはどうしたらいいか、そのために何を変えればいいかを自ら考え、提案、実行する取り組みです。品質活動や安全活動といった他の活動も同様です。それを褒めたりする習慣や表彰したりする制度もあるので、誰もが進んで提案しようという風土が根付いています。昨日よりも今日よりも明日、もっと良くしようと考えていることが、トヨタの現場を支えているんじゃないかと思っています。
Once assembled, inspectors confirm that correct parts are installed on a vehicle, and then look for any scratch or dent. Next, inspectors check and adjust the lighting fixtures, gauges, and any unusual noises, then confirm the gas pedal and brake pedal for effectiveness. Finally, inspectors confirm there are no oil leaks. Only vehicles that have passed all of these rigorous inspections are delivered to customers. All of this is done every day for each and every vehicle shipped domestically and throughout the world.
我々品質管理部は品質の最後の砦です。検査員は専門の教育と訓練を受け資格を与えられたメンバーで、決められた時間内で正確に検査を行う品質のプロ集団です。検査員は毎日始業前にパネルの隙間の広さや段差の違いを 0.1 ミリ単位まで目と指先で感じ取る訓練をしてからその日の検査に挑みます。ほんのわずかな差までこだわるのはお客様の信頼を絶対に裏切らないという責任と覚悟があるからです。そして生産に携わる全ての人の思いが込められた車を一台一台心を込め、ここから世界のお客様に送り出しています。
Upon arrival at the port, cars are sorted according to type and export destination. Sweeping is constantly conducted at the port to prevent possible damage from small rocks. Onboard workers called gangs share the role and load all the cars. Under the leader's instruction, they quickly park the cars with perfection. And then they secure the cars. The cars are packed tightly, separated by only 30 centimeters of spacing in the front and back, and 10 centimeters on each side. Several shipping gangs can load as many as 5,000 cars in 2 days. Once the last car is loaded, the ship leaves for its destination. production.